Hello, it's me, Acute-Dilute. I am trying to talk while hearing myself. It's kind of weird. Me and my friend Paranoia. I don't know if he wants our real names to be on here. I mean, you've heard my real name before. It's Alex. We were trying to talk. Well, at least I was just making it recorded so then while we were playing games. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an obligatory podcast sort of thing, but this is going to be episode 0 because we didn't really just sit down and talk. We were playing games at the same time, and I just recorded the conversation. So I just wanted to throw some of the clips together and see how it works and see how you guys like it. Just a little podcast in the background. I'm going to try to make it short, but we'll see how long it comes out. Here goes begin. Actually, I'm going to just say one more thing. It's going to be hard to figure out what the conversation's going, and I'm not really going to try to explain it like by putting text up. So that's why this is just going to be like a Frankenstein of voice clips of us talking about just random stuff. So, I don't know, based on the reception, we get back, we'll see if I keep doing this. But like I said, the next podcast will be better because I'm going to just make it so that we just talk and not play games at the same time. Alright, tell me if you like it. I don't know. Bye.
There was this one dude, completely different game, but like similar type of deal, for Street Fighter. And Street Fighter 5 had like a really fucking like shitty release. It had like fucking a small roster of characters. Game just felt like fucking weird to like a lot of people who has played Street Fighter for many years.
Yeah.
And they didn't really like it, but Capcom is gonna like run with that game. That's their game that's gonna be at like tournaments and all of that shit. Like they're gonna only care about that game from that point on. And he had like a deal with them. Like he was a commentator for tournaments, like basically like contracted by Capcom, or something. And he said something about their netcode, and their netcode was garbage.
Yeah.
And they like fired him basically.
That's crazy.
So
yeah,
like
you can't say
having like
anything.
a deal like that, like you just like really can't fucking talk like any type of shit.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. You can't even. I don't know. That's what's hard about like I think Donkey said it too. It's like machinima. It's like you couldn't.
Yeah, that and like Microsoft, he was supposed to have a deal with them too.
Yeah.
And he wasn't gonna fucking like do that shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I can't work. I couldn't work for. It seems like a dream come true almost for some people,
Yeah.
but I can't imagine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. That's just like they say like at Disney World, like when you work there, you like lose the magic there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I mean that's anywhere. I can't remember.
Yeah, honestly, actually, everywhere is fun if you're not the employee there.
Yeah, I have yet to find a job that's as fun as I thought it would be. Period. First of all, but also as fun that I don't like lose the magic too. You know, like working at the car wash. That was probably the first biggest thing. I was like, oh, it'd be fun. All you do is like talk to your friends and wash cars. It's not that hard. That shit sucked. We'd be outside and these people were complaining. It's like freezing outside. People washing their car when it's freezing. And then
Bro.
my
Oh
favorite
my God,
tip.
that sucks.
Yeah, my favorite tip I've ever gotten was stay warm. That's my tip. That was my tip. Stay warm.
Love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah, I was like, you know, if you gave me like a money tip and then said that, that would actually be pretty cool because then it seems like, you know, it's like stay warm. I know it's cold out here. I appreciate it. Here's some money. But you saying that and not tipping is kind of like, all right. I wish I could eat. I wish I had enough to eat. Stay warm and eat. Stay warm and pay bills.
I've got like two stories. Like I guess not really like similar. Well, kind of similar. What's it called? First, because you talked about the car wash.
Yeah.
When I lived in Washington for that like 1 year, I worked at this one place for I think like 4 or 5 months, I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Uh-huh.
The funny thing about this is I could have been like the front desk, like renting the cars to these people at the airport. That the district manager, he was like, you know, I guess during my interview, he was like,
Huh.
which would you prefer to do? Because it seems like you have experience in both like options here. Um, and I was like, oh, I I didn't really know what to say, and I didn't really want to talk to people anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, just put me outside, man. Like,
Wait,
and it,
wait.
you know,
Wait, hold on.
huh?
What job was this again?
It was just like a rental car, like place.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if they have Enterprise out in Virginia, but yeah, like they had one at the airport, and then they had a couple like just actual stores, where you can go to and rent a car.
Yeah.
And he was the district manager of like a lot of that area that I was in.
Uh-huh.
And so he was the one who interviewed me and then hired me like right after, which was like at the time I was like fucking begging for a job practically, but I
Okay.
still like was being picky.
Yeah.
And it was actually a really good job. I actually liked it. Um, but yeah, I ended up it wasn't sustainable, so that's why like
Yeah.
um but what's it called? Yeah, he gave me the option on like he was like, which would you prefer? Like, you could be inside doing the desk and
Hmm.
like actually like renting the cars out to people,
Yeah.
or we do have an opening on this if you would like to do that too. And it's like weird thinking about it now that he actually gave me that option, which is strange because a lot of the people that like worked um renting, that like desk thing,
Yeah.
they all had degrees.
Huh.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And so that was like the weird thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was like, yeah, man, just I'm cool with being outside. I'm used to that. So you
Yeah.
can so I worked like one day at the
Uh-huh.
airport, and he actually like came up to me and he was just like, hey, if you want, we actually have another opening to do the same thing, but at another store. And I was like, yeah, because it was actually closer to my house
Hmm.
if I went to that one instead. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that one. And the coolest part about this job wasn't really the job itself at all. It was the hours. And I only worked 4 days out of the week, but I was getting full time.
Hmm.
So I always had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, no matter what. And that was like the coolest thing about it. But it started getting shitty. So I worked at this one that was closer to my house. But then they were like, hey, we need somebody to work at this other one, this like satellite one, where it would only be like 2 people every
Uh-huh.
day going there. And I actually really liked going there too. Because I would drive to the one that's close to my house. I
Yeah.
would park my car. They would give me the keys to a rental that I would take with me over to the other one that's an hour away. So I would spend the first hour of my 10-hour workday driving,
Uh-huh.
and then I would spend the second hour of the last hour of my 10-hour workday driving back.
Uh-huh.
And I got 40 hours every week, Monday through Thursday,
Yeah.
and every weekend off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The only shit part about that job was the actual place that I was going to
Uh-huh.
was like it wasn't built up all the way.
Uh-huh.
And so like they didn't actually have like things to like actually clean these cars. And it was like desert basically.
Yeah.
So it was just these cars were dusty inside and out.
Damn.
And so it was like I had to put some work in, but like the dude that I would go there regularly with, he like, he didn't really care how good I did. He understood the like whole process of just like, we don't have shit really to like clean with out here, so just do your best. And I
Yeah.
was like, I bet. But then they fucking hired some other chick, bro,
Uh-huh.
and she was just starting to get on my fucking ass,
Oh
bro.
shit.
Like, and she ended up being the one that was coming out there with me.
Uh-huh.
And I was getting pissed, bro. Like, I was just like, the fuck you want me to do, bro? We got no fucking pressure in this water hose. I
Yeah.
can't fucking spray shit down, like, well enough to, like, actually get this shit out. There's no fucking soap line out here, bro. Like, we don't got shit.
Damn,
And
yeah.
you want me? Just me? And, like, we, like, randomly started getting busy. And I was like,
Mhm.
yo, like, this shit's fucked, bro. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And I was getting pissed. I was like,
Yeah, I
"You're
would
lucky
too.
I'm fucking leaving, or I would have beat someone's ass."
Damn. Pissed.
Like, and you know, cause that all came after like I was working at the resort and shit was getting fucking just stupid over there.
Yeah.
And then I worked at some other hotel when I moved to Washington, and bro, like. I fucking laugh about this shit still to this day. When I worked at this other hotel in Washington,
Yeah.
fucking um what's it called? So they hired me. Basically, they said I was going to be front desk when they hired me, but
Yeah.
they didn't have a position open at that time. But they just hired me just to get me on, like, to get some pay and like do some shit, get familiar with the area,
Yeah.
type shit. And like, I knew the daughter of the lady that owned the place.
Uh-huh.
The daughter was married to a family friend of mine,
Okay.
and so he told his wife to hook me up with a job there because he originally was supposed to hook me up with another job, but
Oh yeah, I remember
things
you
went
said that.
bad. Yeah, like things went bad where they had the fucking GM fucker, the actual like manager,
Uh
interviewing me, and I just didn't answer a question in a way that he would have liked.
oh yeah.
And you know, like how am I supposed to know that this dude like doesn't want someone to like pursue like success, I guess? It was weird. Like the question was like, where do I see myself in 5 years, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, you know, studying, like still like continuing my education or something like that. And
Yeah.
he didn't like that. He wanted an answer of like working here, moving
Yeah.
up here. You
Yeah.
know, like, and I was just like, dang, bro, like,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. I know. That's why like at this point I hate it, but I'll just like say what people want to hear and maybe even mean 0% of it. Like depending
yeah,
on the person.
like,
I hate that I have to
yeah,
do that. I don't
that
like
sucks.
lying. Yeah, it does suck. I don't like lying. I don't like being like, quote unquote a bullshitter. But like if I don't, then neither of us are happy. You know? Like
Yeah,
recently I
because I
was
don't get the job and you don't get somebody who
yeah,
you think is gonna be there. Like,
yeah. Both of our times are wasted. That basically. And it happened recently actually, and it's funny because it didn't work. uh, we were at the. I talked to one of them because one of the girls were talking. Put the quotation marks around talking. They were like they talked for like a week. You know what happened?
yeah, they was fucking.
Yeah, for like a week. I remember her coming to me because she was one of my friends, and she came to me and she was like, "I don't know what he wants," and then or something like that. She's like, "Every time we're in the like." I'm going on a tangent. I'll come back to the other thing.
Yeah,
um, she was like, I don't know what he wants, and blah blah. We're having issues every time I see him in the he doesn't even talk to me. So it was like to me, it was obvious what was going on. He just wanted to like do something with her, and then leave. Pretty much, I could like see it, and I didn't know how to tell her. So basically, I was like, well, it doesn't matter. They're gonna do this thing, and then she's gonna leave, and then that's what's gonna happen. And then yeah, so she like told me the story of her hooking up with him, and she was like, yeah, I went there, and then they like hooked up, and then he said he forgot he has work the next morning, and I was like, he didn't forget. He didn't forget he had work the next day. He's like,
you don't
yeah,
fucking forget you got work, bro.
yeah. I was like, because it was me and my friend, the guy we played Pokemon with last time.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's pretty cool. So, but he said the same thing. He's like, no, yeah, he didn't forget. you know, He didn't forget.
Ain't nobody forgetting that shit. Come on.
Yeah. So I don't
Come
know.
on, dog.
Yeah, I was like, that's actually hilarious. But she was like, so it was like we. She didn't know. She didn't know. um. But yeah, that's that story. The other story was here on. I was talking about like saying what people want to hear, and this guy, and he was watching us because we were about to leave to go. So we're kind of like in a hurry. There's two trash cans. Well, not in a hurry, but we're just like excited. We want to leave.
Yeah.
And we threw our trash away, and there's two trash cans right next to each other in like a cramped space. But if you step back, which you can't, so you would have to look at it at an angle. One says like burnable trash, and one says recyclable. And we put it in the recyclable on accident. And he stopped us, and he's like, I think he's like, this actually goes in this trash. He's like, see how it says it on there? And I was like, oh, you're right. Attention to detail. And I like, looked at him, and he just like looked at me and looked away. He looked like pissed off. And I was like, I thought that would be something you would want to hear.
You took nah. He wanted to hear him say it, not you.
Oh yeah, that's what he was thinking. So I wasn't gonna say that
You
shit.
took his words from him, bro.
Yeah,
He's never gonna live that down.
yeah, I know.
He's Yugi slamming the ground saying it should have been me.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably right. That's probably why he said that. Cause
Like he didn't have a real reason like to really rip into you. And so you took that away from him because you made the correction too instantly.
yeah, yeah. I think it's because like I
But
have that.
also he is
Yeah, they don't say that.
okay. They they don't really like fuck with you.
Like including that. Like I'm pretty sure that's also why the guy was mad at me because he can't do anything. Like if it were somebody else, he's like, I'm gonna talk to you. Like if it was
He would have done it to somebody else.
because the thing is, I don't like using my age as my argument because younger people will use my age incorrectly as their argument. I remember, hold on, I got two more stories. Today, um, we were doing Christmas decorations because there was not much going on today. We did like zero work today besides Christmas decoration. And I was just like, they should like decorate the tree. And I put the tinsel on top of it. I was like, we don't have a star, so I put the tinsel thing, like a string that has all gold like tinsel stuff attached to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put that on top, and I was like, it's the star, like because we don't have a star, so I put it on top, and I also put a present like in the tree, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool if like this had like a bunch of presents like inside the tree, right? And I was just being like, I was being a little goofy, I guess. I didn't plan to keep it completely like that. And this like 20-year old, yeah, she was like, "You are 28 years old. You need to take this seriously." I was like, "We're putting like Christmas decorations up. I'm just like being a little like fun. Like I don't know. I was like, I'm just trying to be fun. Like, but
Bro, people are weird, man.
yeah,
Like people like it's just so weird like how people take some stuff serious, like mad fucking serious when it's like not that serious, but then when it's some serious shit, bro,
hmm
it's like, bro, it's not the end of the world, is it?
yeah, I know. It's
When
like
it's like, bro, this is somebody's life in check, bro. Like the fuck you mean?
yeah,
Like like
our
bro,
yeah,
it's so stupid, man.
it is
Yeah,
stupid.
I'm getting triggered, bro. I'm getting some flashbacks of when I was working.
Oh, I
Like,
know. I know. I tried to like in my head just to like not get upset. I gave her like the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe she's also joking. Maybe she's also joking. Um, because I was really annoyed by that. I was like, you make similar jokes, like when
you just gotta be like, you joking, right?
yeah. He's like,
Like, you kidding?
I know
Like, you gotta say it in that like, hey, hey, you funny.
you're funny. Yeah,
Hey,
like,
you
you're the
funny, bro.
funny. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I just try to shake it off because like that's what I mean. Like I don't like it when they use my age as argument. It's like, oh, I stop having fun when I'm like older. I'm just goofing off a little bit. Like no, it's not gonna harm anyone that I'm putting up the decorations not the way you like it. You know.
Yeah.
Because
It's just when you've sucked so much dick, bro, you start thinking that it tastes good.
yeah, because like I'm running it
You
through
get
it. Yeah, I'm running through it in my head.
what's
I'm just like, what makes you want to work? It's like you like the corporate. Like you ever see people that like glorify working hard? Like, and I like working hard. I like working hard. Don't get me wrong, but like
yeah,
glorify
nothing
working.
against working hard, but like you
Yeah,
still gotta be a person, brother. Like
exactly. Like what what is the point where you were like overworking yourself just to make a little more money or maybe even a lot more money, but then not even having time to
I
spend that
was
money or
I
enjoy
was
that money?
overworking I was overworking myself for no money or for the same money as other people that were not doing any work.
Yeah.
And I was doing it for something else for trying to like because there were points in my where I felt like maybe this is a thing for me.
Hmm.
Maybe I do want to keep.
Hmm.
And I was like trying to like get good with people.
Yeah.
And I tried to play a little bit of the game.
Yeah, you played the game.
But the game I had a different console. It was an exclusive for something I didn't have.
Yeah, you put an Xbox game into the PS4,
Into a fucking
PS5,
GameCube, bro.
in the
Like
GameCube.
the disc didn't even fit.
Yeah, I would say it's like, oh, you're trying to make something work. That's like when boomers are saying like, I fed a whole family of 10 or something with a single job. Like the times are different now. You can't do that. You can't take your NES and make the Xbox games work on it.
Like, damn, what a good ass analogy, actually.
Yeah.
But, like
It's
really
a
good.
different generation thing. It works for both things. It works
You
even the
can put
verbiage.
more on those games because they were less, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
The games were
You
were
could
not
add
you
more
they were
for
easier to run.
less.
They were easier to run. There's less hardware, so it didn't break. Like it didn't have much to break in there. There's not much to break. But these newer systems, you hit the corner of it on accident. The little microchip comes out. You know, it cracks.
You press one wrong combination of buttons, bro. You're fucked.
Yeah, we have like about 20 times more buttons than they did back in the day. He's like, oh, just press A and
Y'all
B and
had
you'll
two
be good.
buttons.
Yeah, you press the A button, B button is 50-50. Even if you're wrong, you learn. I was like, if you're wrong on these new consoles, you push the wrong button, you still got you got 19 more choices. I don't know.
Combination, it almost feels endless. The barrier that you have to bust through is a little intimidating.
Yeah,
There's 20 buttons, motherfucker.
and then you get the touchscreen into the equation.
You finally click the right button, bro. Then you're prompted with a new button. What do you do?
What do you do? And you're behind now. You're behind the people that had the cheat codes, had the looked it up, had the I don't know. I can go on. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
But anyway, let me get back onto that one topic. Um, like I said, I don't like using my age as a crutch or something for my argument, like anything for my argument. I especially don't like using it as a crutch. Like people,
Yeah.
I make a mistake and they blame it on my age, and I was like, I probably would have made this mistake worse when I was younger. um, but like I said, I don't want to use that as an argument. It's just experience usually. Like that can happen at any age. You just got to go out and do things. Um, but yeah, because I feel like what that guy said when I was putting the wrong trash, or we were all putting the trash in the wrong trash can, but I was the only one that said something. But I think it was because most people that are younger want to have this impression that they never make mistakes. So I think they just didn't know what to say because they were thinking of a way to say that, oh yeah, it's okay that I didn't know, you know, instead of just being like, oh yeah, I fucked up, my bad. And that's pretty much what I said, but in the way, I was like, oh, you're right, attention to
Yeah.
detail. And I think he was expecting like an excuse maybe,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or I don't know, but I don't know. I feel that's one thing I don't like having that sometimes because sometimes I like quote unquote submit when I don't need to submit, especially to the wrong person, and they get like a power trip from it. But um, it does like that guy it does catch him off guard sometimes, and it's easy to just be like, oh yeah, I fucked up, whoops. Um, and usually they'll just be like, don't do it again, instead of like digging your own hole. But I want to like get to a point where I'm also picking my battles correctly because I feel like I still pick my battle incorrectly when I just let somebody have the what they don't deserve. They get the power trip from it and they
Yeah.
don't do.
You just gotta have like a slow reaction.
Oh yeah,
So that way, like, you have the time to think about whether it's worth.
yeah,
And then if it is, you're still within that time frame of being able to fight for it.
yeah. That's another thing. Two things. One thing I just learned in Japanese culture. Uh, it's not so bad. Like it's you don't interrupt anyone, right? First of all, in Japanese culture, because they don't mind a little bit of silence in between conversations or responses, and I thought that was kind of cool. Another thing I learned, but I remember telling younger people when they start like talking too fast and stuttering, it happened a lot. Maybe just because after, but also it's just kind of like a thing that happens in high school. I guess people will just like cut each other off a lot. I mean, I do it too, and I don't mean to. Sometimes I'll try to like reel back because I do ramble, and I know that everyone doesn't want anyone that rambles. But my whole point is, let me get to the point because I don't want to start rambling right now. is is if they're not going to listen to you, they're not going to listen to you even if you talk fast. And I used to tell like some of my younger friends that, even my older friends, I was like, they'll start stuttering and stuff. He's like, it's all right, slow down. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'll tell them that I'm listening. And I would just like,
It's like people have like a weird feeling of like needing like the need to like get what they're thinking out immediately.
exactly, yeah,
I guess it's
yeah.
just weird. I don't know.
It is weird.
Or they want to like not every interruption is like a bad like a direct bad thing.
Yeah,
Not like bad as in like like you're terrible for interrupting or anything. It's just like the topic of discussion during the conversation is um something that either they like relate to or they have like just something in common and they want to like share that to
yeah,
kind of like be in touch with the person that they're talking with.
yeah. It's like a
And
connection.
it can definitely come off as like, maybe not like narcissistic or, like just self-involved or absorbed or whatever.
Yeah,
But just like, it can come off like that, but most of, or at least maybe, I don't know. I don't want to speak for other people. Like for me,
yeah,
if I do it, right, like if I like accidentally interrupt it's and like try to get something out
yeah,
during while somebody else is talking about something, it's more so because I want to like relate to them or like say like, oh yeah I did, blah 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 or whatever.
yeah. Showing
Just
your
so that way
understanding.
like join in with that person, not
Yeah,
trying to like be against them with a similar thing or like one up them or something, like something like that. I don't know how to explain.
yeah, yeah. Because some people take it that way. Some people definitely take it that way.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're just making it about yourself, and I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
relating. I'm relating. It's a connection thing. Um,
Yeah, connection. It's trying to connect with the person.
yeah, because I do know. Well, I don't know. Nothing's 100%. But I can get an impression from like some people that when I talk and they're silent, it's not. They're one of two things. There's some people I can get silence from them after I say something, and I know it's like, okay, they listen, they just don't have anything to say. But there are some people I know, when I get silence from them, it means they don't care. They don't care what you're talking about,
Yeah.
and you can just tell. It's kind of like it's just knowing the person, but also it's like you can see it in their face, you can see it like in their body language. That's just another thing. I don't know where I was going with that. Just another like communication thing, another connection thing. It's like I could tell, like people like I think I was saying it's like the opposite. It's like if they're saying something to relate and they make it about they don't make it about themselves, but they have a similar thing that they did that is that's a connection thing. But also if they're keeping quiet, there's sometimes that's also can be a connection thing. It's just they're just listening. I don't know. It's really cool. I really like sociology, and I guess that's psychology too. It's like how you work, but then how interactions work. Speaking of psychology, every time I say that, people think that I like manipulating people, and I don't know why. I don't know. So maybe that's
Most
what they
people
want.
that aren't really familiar with the topic,
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
like they're basically just parroting one thing that they've heard someone say back in the day, back in their day. Just one time they're like, and that kind of just stuck with them. Like, oh yeah, yeah. Anybody who's like a therapist, they manipulate. Like yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's weird.
Yeah, they say the same thing about actors too. It's like actors only become actors so then they can trick people. I was like, I've heard that before. Like, oh, they're really good liars. They might be. I don't know, but I don't think that's the case for everyone. Some people just like to make other people laugh. Some people just like the attention. Are you gonna do a battle?
Are you gonna shut the fuck up?
We've been talking all this time. Uh, you know,
Uh, you know,
uh, you know,
uh, you know,
uh, you know.
uh, you know.